This is Pico. She is a bear villager on Animal Crossing, and she's lived on my island for about 3 months now. She's so beautiful, and I can't wait to create a squishy out of her. It's been kind of hard to get a read on her personality. Since she's lived here, she's been very private. Sometimes I will run around my whole island all day and never find Pico. When I do find her, she's all about the small talk, which is cool. I can relate. No shame in being an introvert. Yet, she does seem to know a lot about my personality and my favorite types of TV shows. For Pico's squishy makeover, I wanted to choose a great outfit for her, and I always try out several different outfits on my villagers before I turn them into an art project. Pico's outfit was not hard. She looks great in just about everything. I ultimately chose the ancient sashed robe because I love the colors on her and I'm really in the mood to paint something pink. For whatever reason, I also caught a lot of clips of her carrying a donut around the island, which I will be using as I am making her into a squishy. This is the green bear squishy, who's also a chef, that I'm going to be using to turn into Pico. Now, a few things need to happen with this bear before we get started. First of all, he is a chef, and he has a chef's hat and a cape. So the first thing he's going to do is lose the chef's hat, and then I'm going to be removing the cake so that I can replace that cake with a donut. Since I see Pico carrying a donut all the time, I thought it'd be really fun to give her a donut to hold on to, just because I love all the props that the Animal Crossing villagers carry around, and the donut is one of my favorites. So first thing, let me just get that chef's hat out of there and cut off the cake while we're at it. Since I don't have any tiny donut squishies laying around, I am going to need to make my own donut, which I am doing out of unused squishy foam. I ordered some squishy making kits on Amazon where they send you paintable squishies and then you paint them. But in this case, I'm just going to chop up what they sent and turn it into a donut. Next, it's time to sand the squishy. It's not a very interesting part of the process. I don't know why I filmed that, but there he is being sanded. Before I do anything else, I need to cover up these patches that I ruined because they are rough spots that I want to make sure the paint goes on smoothly before I do anything. So in order to patch those up, I'm using slick fabric paint on the rough area of the squishy, and that will smooth it over so that those rough areas are as minimized as possible. Now that that's dry, it is time for the squishy to be fitted for his donuts. I'm gluing the donut on with fabric paint, and after the fabric glue dries, I'm sealing up the squishy with more slick paint just as an extra layer of glue. So now that that is firmly sealed on, I'm going to paint the entire squishy in white matte fabric paint so that all of these pieces can come together under one white layer. Now it's time to start painting the donut. I went with this yellow metallic fabric paint or the doughy part of the donut, which I later decided that I hated. So I am going to be changing that color a little bit later on. But for now, let's get the chocolate onto that donut because I really just need this donut to look delicious right away. Now I am mixing Pico's skin tone with a yellow, brown, and white to get that sort of off-white that her skin color is. You may have noticed as you're watching that some of the footage and clips are kind of awkward colors, different brightnesses and different filters. And that's because I'm still learning how to use Premiere Pro. This is actually my first time ever using Premiere Pro, and I'm still experimenting with color correction and different types of tools for editing the clips. So that's why it looks very awkward in some places and the color is a little bit off. Not to mention the lighting in my apartment is not great and I don't have any lighting specific for filming. I just don't have any of that equipment. It's really expensive. Some of the footage got lost where I painted the pink flower shapes around Pico's ears. So what I did off camera was I painted the pink flower shapes around Pico's ears. And that's what you missed. But there it is, it looks pretty good. I used a Posca pen for that, and now it is time to paint on her purple hair. You may also notice that the audio is a bit choppy and a bit staticky, and that's because I don't know how to edit voiceover. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on different voiceover filters, and I just really kind of needed a break from trying to edit the voiceover. It was just really not getting better no matter what I tried. So I took a little break, and if anyone has any suggestions on how to edit voiceover to give the voice clarity, I would really appreciate that, because for whatever reason it's just staticky. Maybe it's the mic, but even if it's the mic, I would still like to be able to edit that out better. So now we are on to Pico's outfit. I painted the top part of the robe this hot pink, which I later decided didn't look like the robe. And here you'll see me doing an editing effect that I've seen other YouTubers do. I think it turned out looking a little bit awkward on my behalf. I don't know why I wanted to try doing that effect. I don't even really think it's that cool when other people do it, but I just went for it anyway. So basically all I was trying to show is that I changed the color of Pico's robe from dark pink to light pink, and I think the light pink matches the robe a lot better than the dark pink. Final detail and most exciting part of this whole project, it is time to put sprinkles on the donut. And here she is, the final product of Pico. Looking cute and still very squishable. I'm so happy with how she came out, and this was a lot of fun to make. If you made it to the end, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you have a great day.